We're here in Asheville, North Carolina for race 3 of the Spartan U.S. National Series presented by USANA. I'm David Magida, and the story of the day today is going to be that we are out of the mountains and we are back into the trails, flatter and faster. This course is 6.5 miles with 700 feet of elevation gain. It's going to open with that quick, flat stuff. And then all of a sudden in the middle, we hit technical terrain, 2 heavy carries. That's the middle portion of the course. Closing out, of course, at the end with a flat, fast finish and an obstacle gauntlet that's going to separate the top athletes from the rest. Now, the big story is going to be Ryan Atkins and Veejay Jones finally going head-to-head for their first Spartan battle of the season. It's exciting to see who's going to come out on top there and who else is going to compete with them for a spot on today's podium and those valuable points that come with it. Look for Ryan Woods, Ryan Kempson, and Mark Gaudet to all take their shot. And don't forget about Logan Broadbent. He finished 3rd in Jacksonville. He loved these fast, speedy courses. Now, let's take you to the action.
Spartans, what is your profession? Who am I? I'm a Spartan. Aru, let's go!
And the runners are off. Look for a couple guys to take this thing out fast. There'll be a few that want to set the tone for this race and a couple who want to sit back and watch the field explode itself. That's Ryan Woods pushing hard to the front, and he tends to like to do this on these faster courses where he knows the guys can't hang with his speed. Also up in the front, that's Sean Roberts, one of the newcomers to the sport, but a star track athlete. He wants to use these flat sections to bury some of the other guys that are a big threat to him late in the race. And in the orange shorts moving up, that's Chris Brown. Chris Brown runs for Team Hoka. He's also helps manage some of the Spartan trail events, and he is a phenomenal runner out on these trails. These roads and trails that have in this course are going to suit his skill set perfectly.
All right, guys, the men elite are off. Here we go. First obstacle coming up, over walls.
Go, Woodsy! Go, EA!
And as we hit the first couple walls right here, Chris Brown out in the front with Ryan Woods, Ryan Kempson, Mark Gaudet. Some of these guys who really want to set the tone and take it to the top racers, they know that Ryan Atkins and Veejay Jones are the big threats today, and if you're going to take them down, you have to take the race to them. And look at that stride from Chris Brown, that natural runner that he is. His objective is to absolutely explode this field early. Sitting in that 3rd position, also Ryan Kempson right there. So right now, Chris Brown out in front as they hit the first descent of this course. Right behind him, looking very comfortable, Veejay Jones, Ryan Kempson, Ryan Woods, and then Ryan Atkins sitting in 5th. So you got all the Ryans in a cluster together. When you're sitting at home and you're looking, as a regular runner, this is what a perfect stride looks like. Absolute perfect economy with the arms, with the legs. So efficient through this course. He's able to maintain this high speed because his running economy is so good. He's no wasted energy anywhere. And as you can see, look how strung out this field is already. The pure speed of this course is going to stretch this field out so dramatically.
So after a ridiculously fast start, we've got Chris Brown in first place, Ryan Woods in second, and then the crew behind them. There's a long way to go in this race.
We're about a mile into the course, and right now you can see it, that ridge up there. The athletes are about to crest that and come barreling down it and into this water crossing right here. It's beautiful, but it's also dangerous, right? It's varying levels of depth, but also slippery rocks, trip hazards, things that can really mess up your race if you roll an ankle, trip and fall, bang a knee, something like that. So they have to be quick, but they have to be careful as well.
We're about 1.6 miles in. They're going to be flying. But this is kind of the end of the fast start. And then you get onto more technical terrain. All right, here they come.
Nice job, guys.
Right now, our top athletes are just arriving at the water crossing, and as they get there, Chris Brown is in the lead right now. If you don't know who Chris Brown is, he finished third at the 100K Hoka event where they were trying to break the world record. He's one of the top ultra runners in the country. So this is your top of the field right here, everybody. Chris Brown, Ryan Woods, Veejay Jones, Mark Batris, Ryan Kempson, Logan Broadbent, Ryan Atkins, Kirk DeWint, Brent Trail, and Mark Cadet. And then there's a little gap here. So now Sean Rogers is coming through, Brian Gawiski right behind him, and this is where this thing is going to get a little grittier. The trail is going to turn into a bit more technical, a little bit more rolling, and then we get into those heavy carry obstacles. As you see Nick Riker and Robert Killian going toe-to-toe with Ian Hosek as well. They're through this deep crossing, and now the real running begins. All right, well, now we're getting into some of the bigger walls, and this is still a strong cluster of athletes with Chris Brown at the front and Ryan Woods sitting in second. We haven't seen a hard charge out of Ryan Atkins yet, but he's still maintaining contact with this group. And that's Logan Broadbent right there, third place in Jacksonville, a strong runner, Ninja Warrior athlete, and of course, world champion boomerang thrower. And there's a Ryan Atkins sighting right there. Atkins trying to handle the speed of this course. He was so strong in Utah on those mountains, but this is a totally different terrain designed for a completely different type of athlete and training skill set. He's gonna have to work hard to stay with this group. Right behind him, you get a sighting of Kirk DeWint. Kirk is another one of the top athletes in this sport, but he's been injured this year. He's been doing a lot of his training on the assault bike just to maintain his fitness, and it's amazing to see that he is still running with the top pack in this race. A sighting from Mark Cadet there as well. Mark Cadet, active duty military, just had a baby last week. So an emotional week for him out here still trying to pour his heart into this race. As they reach Twister right now, that's Chris Brown still in the front, but a huge pack of athletes with VJ, Ryan Kempson, Ryan Woods, and Logan Broadbent hot on his heels.
Alrighty guys, mile 2, crazy fast start, but now it starts getting a bit more technical. There's just gone through Twister. Chris Brown is holding his own, but not by very much. Woods is looking strong, VJ's looking steady. It's gonna be really interesting. Brent Trail, Sean Roberts just gone through here. Atkins is sitting comfortably, a little bit further back, maybe in 5th or 6th. Just crazy, crazy exciting race. It's going to be interesting how this one unfolds. These guys are flying. This is a cool part of the course. They're going to go through 2 obstacles just down here, but we're going to catch them up. They're going to go through Olympus and then Stairway, and we're going to catch them up just here.
Look at that. We have Veejay Jones moving into first place. Chris Brown is now fallen into second, but he's still just a few steps up on Ryan Woods and Ryan Kempson. But he is battling with the big boys today because Ryan Atkins is right behind him with Logan Broadbent. It's a dogfight out here. As they enter the deep trails, we finally hit this technical stuff. And now you're going to see some guys who are better at that technical running, maybe inch ahead of some of the road runners.
All right, VJ's first through for the Olympus Stairway. Obviously, the move to Boulder is done in pretty great. High altitude makes a massive difference, huge lungs.
Veejay Jones is absolutely dropping the hammer on these guys right now. Can they respond is the question right now. You see a group of guys moving a little bit sluggishly compared to Veejay. He is really climbing well. Those mountain legs, stronger than they've been in years. And that's Mark Battress right here, looking like he's making a move on the uphill. He is a phenomenal marathoner, but to see him climbing and looking so comfortable like this, it's an exciting thing to see. We have yet to see him hit a podium in a U.S. National Series race. Today could be that day.
Back horse, guys. Nice work.
And here you go, Bender. The first of Bender is Veejay Jones. And now he's got about a 10-second gap back to Chris Brown.
VJ's taking the lead. Chris Brown looking steady in second. Got Chris Brown, Ryan Woods, Ryan Atkins, Logan Broadbent, Ryan Kempson, Mark Battress. They're all here. This is awesome. Mark Cadet.
Coming out of Bender, we got this nice long stretch of downhill, and you'll see some guys open up, a chance to recover, a chance to get your wind back, to let your legs flush out a little bit, but also, if people are relaxing too much, an opportunity to make a move, to maybe pass a couple people. We'll see who's aggressive through these little downhill sections. Now this is the 8-foot box. To see 6 athletes all fighting for one position on the podium, going over the 8-foot box at the same time is a sight I don't think I've ever even seen before. So an incredible race to start, at least for the day right now. As you can see, that Chris Brown has fallen into about 4th position now, with Mark Battress in 5th and Logan Broadbent sitting back there in 6th. He's chasing the 3 Ryans and Veejay Jones, of course. But they're going to hit a road again soon, and an opportunity to run with some speed once again.
I've got Veejay Jones in first place. He's kind of made a move here about halfway through the course, made a slippy beater look easy. Got some flat throw running here. We know he's fast.
Now as we hit beater right here, it's slippery, it's a little bit slick, it's dew covered, so it's not a difficult obstacle for these athletes. That's a huge move by Ryan Atkins, but it is going to slow some of them down. They're going to be a bit more cautious. Ryan Atkins not taking that caution. He used this as an opportunity to slide himself all the way up into second position.
Get it.
But the leader right now, all by himself, that's Veejay Jones, looking so smooth and so strong. This is his comfort zone, getting to open up and use his speed. And he is heading towards the heavy carry section of this course. 2 heavy carries back to back, essentially. There's going to be a sandbag carry, another obstacle, and then a bucket carry. Very close together. And that's where this race could be absolutely exploded.
It's got Veejay Jones, got a fairly comfortable lead. Ryan Woodsy in second place, followed by Mark Bastrus making an epic move. I think actually Chris Brown's in third. There they go.
Well, we're here at the multi-rig. It's just rings to pipe. And then finishing with another set of rings. So not an overly complicated one, just a bit of a rhythm breaker, but an opportunity for a few guys to catch their breath. For Chris Brown and Mark Bastrus, they have been churning up the road in that little section over there, and now through some of the sludge, the deeper water, the high grass, the bushwhacking, this will slow them down a little bit. They really are looking for those open roads and for some of those climbs. But what a fast course we have today. This has been a blazing pace that these guys have set through the entire thing. As Veejay Jones now arrives in first place to the Herc hoist. Now, of course, the rule is you can plant a foot against that gate. Just keep one foot on the ground. Make sure that you don't drop that bag once you get it to the top.
There's an obstacle length.
And Veejay is approaching that sandbag carry that we talked about before. That sandbag carry is going to be a huge difference maker in this race. Ryan Atkins is looking at that and licking his chops. Now, this climb can be a little bit deceiving. It looks relatively flat on camera, but it's actually probably 4 or 5% gradient uphill. And that means a lot of extra fatigue on the legs, as you saw Chris Brown giving Ryan Atkins the little butt slap on the way by, letting him know, I'm here. I'm going to be here all day.
So approaching sandbag carry. See if Veejay here can hold his quite good lead. They're not even on monkey bars yet.
And we're at sandbag carry right now. And in second place right now, it looks like Ryan Woods is making his way into the woods, followed by Chris Brown, Mark Bastrus, Ryan Atkins, and Ryan Kempson. So this field has been blown wide open, yet it's still close. It's anyone's race right now. Coming out of the sandbag carry, things are gonna get shook up. We have another heavy carry, the bucket carry, and then we have this fast obstacle gauntlet. So we expected to see Veejay Jones up near the front of this thing, but he has a sizable lead between himself and the next 6 or 7 athletes. And right here, there's your race leader. That's Veejay Jones.
Off to your right.
We said that this was going to be a perfect course for him, and he's showing that right now. His ability to turn over on this quicker terrain allows him to really find his comfort zone, and he's so good at the obstacles.
Good lad, VJ.
Kempson?
Nice work.
Kempson second.
Woodsy.
There's Ryan Woods, and that's a sizable gap. We thought this would be a good course for him and a good course for Chris Brown. Ryan Atkins now in 4th position, and Mark Batres in 5th, using his marathon speed, making one pass on Ryan Kempson right here in 6th. This is a cluster. We have no idea. Any of these 5 guys could come in 2nd or even steal the win. Really now, it's about who wants it more.
Guys are hanging in strong. There you go, there you go. Let's go, Kempson.
They're heavy today.
Now the great thing that we have here is Veejay Jones on the bucket carry with an opportunity on this loop to see exactly how far out in front he is as he loops back. He can get a real good sense of, am I a minute up? Am I 50 yards up? Where's everyone in relation to me? And he knows how to use his energy from this point forward. Although at this point, it's going to be for Veejay, hammer as hard as I can, as Chris Brown has moved back into 2nd position. And for him, it's the same thing. It's put as much time between myself and all these dangerous obstacle guys as possible. Because right now, it's going to be a tight one, and we know how fast Ryan Atkins is on these heavy carries.
VJ just behind me here. He's got quite a lead. It is a long bucket carry. And then we've got this awesome group, 2nd through 6th. In that group, there's a good battle going on. At the front of that, Chris Brown and Ryan Woods, both top runners.
Ryan, I can't wait to see these pictures of us. Yeah, you're so sexy. Ahead of Atkins.
Well, while Ryan Woods and Chris Brown tell jokes, Ryan Atkins is getting to work, and he just made a pass on Chris Brown, and he's making a pass on Ryan Woods as well. One of the best heavy carriers in the business, and he's all business right now.
You see Ryan Atkins just making his move now. Yeah, we've just passed mile 4, but we've got 2 miles to go.
You can see this is a substantial gap that Ryan Atkins has managed to put on the field that he's been competing against through this bucket carry. We don't know where Veejay Jones is in relation to him, but he has been doing some damage on this carry. And Mark Batres has put himself back in contention for a podium position with a really strong carry as well. And now those climbs. We talked about the fact that there were going to be some climbs on this course. They're all towards the end, the big climbs at least, and this is one of them right here. Veejay Jones all by himself with one big climb left in the race. And again, that change in terrain that we talk about all the time. Right now, this stuff, it looks like it's just grass, but it's not. It's thick, it's clumpy, it's just difficult to get traction and you can trip on it very easily. But once Veejay crests this big hill, it's just gonna be an obstacle gauntlet and flat.
So you can just see the hill that they're going up now. It's kind of typical Asheville course where it's hard running. It's like running in water. You've got to pick your feet up the whole time. So Chris Brown is second, having a phenomenal race. Mark Batcher is third, also having a phenomenal race.
Veejay crushing this hill, almost to the top.
Well, we're about a mile from the finish line right now, entering the final obstacle gauntlet. This is the last big descent and the last big climb of this course. Everything else is going to be completely flat. Veejay Jones is out here with a whole minute lead over the rest of the field, and it looks like it's just going to be a battle for second place from here on out. But that thing is completely up for grabs. We have 7 or 8 guys who could claim second place in this race still. It doesn't look like Veejay's given up his hold of first place. He wants those points. He wants to win this series. Boy, he makes it look easy, doesn't he? One time around the flag, around and back. No burpees required on this obstacle anymore unless you want to do them.
Woo! Keep it up! You got it!
Now into the barbed wire crawl. A solid minute lead still over Ryan Woods in second place. And in third, Chris Brown. Veejay knows that all he has to do is stay clean. No mistakes right now. That's the big thing for him. Finishing up his barbed wire crawl as he heads into the rolling mud with a solid 60-second lead.
Flag. Come on back. No burpee.
Rolling mud. Come on, bud, come on. Heading to the second barbed wire crawl.
You got this.
It's Chris Brown, and that's Mark Batcher, who made up a huge gap and is crawling his way into second place right now on this crawl. Huge pass right now. Two of the fastest runners in the field. Now this is Ryan Atkins sitting in 4th place right now. This is one of the tightest National Series races we have ever seen. Anyone can still claim second place right now. Right behind him, only 10 or 12 seconds behind, is Ryan Woods and Ryan Kempson. We got 3 Ryans all chasing those top 2 spots, just behind Chris Brown and Mark Batcher.
Veejay Jones fighting his hands off before approaching the Z-wall. The last second change of the obstacle, they moved in right after.
Veejay Jones has just cleared the Z-wall, and that is one of the last big threats to his victory today. All that really stands between him and the win is going to be the spear throw.
So we got second and third here. So Chris Brown, Mark Batcher.
But with wet and muddy hands, Mark Batcher and Chris Brown are going to war.
This is going to be Ryan Atkins champing at the bit.
This is the big finish, the big chase right here. There's only a few obstacles left, minimal running. It's all going to be about who is willing to take a couple seconds here and there, who's willing to throw their body out there and lay it on the line.
Oh boy, the pace has turned up suddenly. We've still got a little bit to go for the finish, but this is the finishing gauntlet. They are flying.
First, second place, guys.
Veejay Jones has just hit the vertical cargo net as he enters the festival area.
We've got Verticargo Plus. Veejay Jones makes it look easy.
Making it look easy as he heads into the last couple obstacles. That spear throw still looming over his head. He's got to hit that to win this race. And Chris Brown and Mark Battriss are battling for that second place finish now. The speed has been really ratcheted up between the two of them, and they're still trying to close on Veejay as well.
Oh, it's a yo-yo. Clean from both. Mark, it's a wee bit quicker. Kempson overtaking Atkins. He's right behind. He's gonna finish strong. Oh boy, this is so exciting. I can't contain myself.
Well, this is the big moment for Veejay Jones. He is in here at the spear throw, make this throw, and he claims victory today. Miss this throw, and everything goes out the window, not just for the race, but for the points series too. But he makes it look easy. Veejay Jones is on his way to a win. He's just got Helix and then a big charge home. All by himself, Veejay Jones going out here to win this thing. And with Helix done, Veejay Jones is charging into the finish.
He hits Helix with ease. Shakes that bell.
One last big push home for Veejay Jones.
30 burpees of weight. If got Kempson coming in, Chris Brown looks first to throw. Mark's got it, Chris has got it, here it is.
Both of these competitors just hit their spear, so it's going to be about who can obstacle and sprint the fastest now. Mark Battriss or Chris Brown, who wants second place? Because Ryan Kempson has just joined the party, coming out of nowhere. We know how quick he is on the obstacles, and Chris Brown has moved into second, and this is a huge opportunity for him to get on that podium. Now in third, you have Ryan Kempson with Mark Battriss chasing, and this is the big finish. Ladies and gentlemen, Veejay Jones taking first place here today in the Spartan US National Series third event from Asheville, and the 300 points that comes along with victory in this super. Veejay Jones with his signature dive across the line. An easy win for Veejay Jones, your champion on the day. He walks this thing in. Cruise control for the man right here. Yeah, baby. Veejay Jones is nearly unstoppable on these courses. And look, Chris Brown for second place, Mark Battriss for third. And chasing, that's Ryan Kempson trying to steal podium, but he's running out of real estate. Third place, Mark Battriss. And Ryan Kempson settling for fourth, a hard-fought race. He left it all out there today. Your top four men, Ryan Kempson with that unfortunate fourth place finish. He ran a podium effort. He'll have to settle for fourth. All right, well, we're here with your men's champion today from Asheville, Veejay Jones, your second win this year. Woo! It's pretty huge. How are you feeling about the race?
I feel really good. You know, it was, I had a race similar to this a little over a month ago, and I didn't have a very good showing, so I really started working on the specific skills that were involved in this style of running, you know, just the faster turnover, a little more powerful stride, and you know, it paid off really big. And it's been really hard to gauge my fitness living at altitude now. I just don't have enough experience there, but you know, clearly the train has been working, so I'm happy with where it went.
It definitely has been working. So it seemed like the race went out pretty hot.
Oh, for sure.
And then at what point did you take over?
So I had a plan. Like, I didn't want to start racing until the second half. I just wanted to hang in. So went like I'm gonna hang in that 3rd or 4th position for the first 5K. And that worked, but every time we hit an obstacle, I'd bump from like, 3rd or 4th place up to like 1st or 2nd, and then I'd slow back down, let people like pass me and stay where I wanted. And I kept catching every obstacle we'd hit, I'd get back into 1st or 2nd, and that's not really where I wanted to be until we hit Olympus and Stairway to Sparta. And I put this gap on people, which wasn't intentional, but I wasn't gonna let it go to waste. So once I was ahead, I waited, thinking someone was probably gonna catch me after the next descent, but I wanted to make them work for it if they did, but no one ever showed up. And after we got to that second half of the race, it was go time, like close it out. So wasn't exactly to plan, but results were the same, so it was good.
Well, we missed you in Utah.
Yeah.
Coming up, we've got some gnarly terrain courses. West Virginia, I think, suits you. And then we have Big Bear. Are you running both?
The plan was not to race West Virginia. I was going to put in a big training block for OCR Worlds and then finish the series out with a showing at Big Bear, which I was really excited about. I think I can do it really well there. But who knows how the year's going to end with COVID and all the things like that. So I might have to show up to West Virginia after all and throw it in. So it's still up in the air, but don't be surprised if I show up.
We've got Chris Brown with us, 2nd place today. You came out of nowhere. People didn't even know you were racing, Chris. So what happened?
Well, got lucky. Went out hard, hung on, flat course, didn't miss any obstacles. I don't know, had a great day, and I think, maybe not, I don't know. It was a course that I was well suited for, and I got lucky the whole way through. And I think I have the top end potential to be with these guys, but I have to be perfect. It's hard to be perfect, and I'm not usually, so I just kind of put it together today.
Now you were up in that 2-3 position pushing with Mark Batchers. It seemed like you guys were working together a bit. Was that the strategy?
It was mine. I don't know if it was his. I tried to make it his. We were coming up to rope climb, which is maybe a mile and a half to go. And it was, Veejay had gotten off the front and kind of held a 45-second gap for a couple miles at that point. It was me, the 3 Ryans, and Mark. And Mark and I got a little gap on a hill, and I knew it looked like there was a lot of flat running at that point. And I just told him, like, hey man, listen, it's time for the runners, you and me, and fight me now so that we don't have to fight them later. So he and I just started slapping his butt, and he started panting, and which I took to mean that he approved. And then we just started hammering and put those guys behind us. And again, it was him and I competing, but kind of also being a team. But that helped us get away from the next pack.
Because I know Ryan Kempson was right on your guys' heels at the end there. Did you feel him chasing hard?
A little bit, but we had a gap, and you just can't make up that much time on helix and spear throw. So I figured we kind of had it as long as he and I stayed strong. Because Mark and I aren't the fastest obstacle guys. So I really wanted us to get that gap again so that those guys wouldn't have a chance to catch us on those quick little obstacles at the end. Yeah.
And of course, for those who don't know, this guy is race directing all of the trail races tomorrow.
Yeah. Assisting technically this weekend, training another guy, but yeah, here to put on the trail race and decided to hop in today.
Well, 2nd place in this field is phenomenal, so congratulations.
Ryan
Chris.
who?
Ryan I was going to say, which Ryan are we even talking about?
I'm just stoked to I've been hanging out with those guys for 2 years now, kind of being peripheral pro team and then meeting them at all these races, and I felt like I was kind of put in their company before I really earned it, but I knew I could on a perfect day, and to go out and beat those guys, I finally feel like I belong for once.
To beat all of the Ryans.
All the Ryans, there we go.
Amazing.
It was tight though. Those guys are all awesome dudes, and I'm just stoked to be out here competing with them. Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, bro.
Well, we're here at the finish with Mark Batchers, 3rd place today. This was a massive race for you. And tell us how it all shook out.
Well, we took out pretty fast. I think the first mile was 5:10 with obstacles, so it was a little hot. But I was in there at 3 miles, and I was like, hey, this is my moment. I got to go for it. And just took some chances, and then it kind of worked out.
Well, we're here post-race with Ryan Kempson to catch up with our 4th place finisher. You were in the race the whole day, back and forth fighting for that podium spot. What happened?
Yeah, we had a battle. Veejay took off from us, and we had a pack of 5 of us. Me and Atkins were kind of playing it pretty steady. 3 runners just kept blasting us on the running sections. But literally 5 of us flip-flopped for 5 miles of the race. Put the burners on at the end. I popped up in the third, but they caught me at the end again. They were just really fast. The runners really pushed the pace hard today.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like there were opportunities for you to get into that podium spot, and then they would just disappear just as quickly as they came.
Yeah, after the bucket, I think Atkins and I both thought we had it at that point. They came burning back again. Felix thought we had it again. Came burning back again. It just was. I think it was a good balance course, but those guys were just really fast. They came to play today.